boys that never get a buck. But you wear your stinking cologne on the stand, amen. And the female deer, I love y'all, but the female deer are stupid when it comes to cologne. They're like, come on, little go. I like that shit. And bucks are like, I ain't going out there. I ain't going. They stay in thickets all day, briars, thickets all day. And cologne's over there. I'm telling you, it's about 50 yards right over there. We'll stay right here. Amen. That's good preaching right there. Take it back. Wear some deodorant, some good deodorant. Sometimes them bucks smell your underarm and go, that's body odor, man. I ain't going out there to do it stinks right there. We have an armpit problem. Guys, don't move. Stay there, okay? You smell what I smell? It smells it. 200 yards away. Just stay where you are. We'll be able to tell when he leaves the woods. Amen. Just follow there. There it goes. Yeah, there he went. He's in his truck now. Let's go. Some of y'all like laughing. That's funny. That's funny. It ain't in my notes today. Must be God. Go home. Hey, first thing, get rid of your little strange gods.
That's it.
Out of the abundance of heart, the mouth speaketh. Red letter. Deal with people. Whatever a guy and gal's got in, black, white, yellow, red, Russian, Japanese, Missouri, Arkansas, Texas, whatever you've got in you, it's what you talk. Because out of the abundance of heart, the mouth speaketh. If it's talking women all the time, it's what's in your heart, sir. Money, sports, your career. Watch it. Oh boy, this is hard. It's hard. I got 7 grandchildren. Your grandchildren is not to be your God. That's a tough one right there. They start running up to you. I love them grandkids more to do my kids because I can send them home. Are y'all with me? They put me in jail for sending my kids home. There's a few times I want to send them home. It was my house. I'm so confused. I'll send you home. They said, this is my home. I'm so mad right now at you. I don't even know where we are on this. You can play your grandkids and leave. You couldn't your kids. But I'll tell you this, they can't be my God. I tell my kids, it's about their kids. You can't be my God. I love them, but sometimes God, He's going, I ain't going to say no to them. Get rid of your little strange gods. And let me say this. He said in verse 3, get rid of your, I'm hurrying, get rid of your Ashtaroth. Some of you, okay, you understand a little strange God deal at home. Takes too much time. Talk about it all the time. Messes with your intimacy with the Lord. What's the Ashtaroth? Long story short. Ashtaroth was a certain meeting place. I'm going to say it in mixed company politely, but I have to preach this, and I want your kids to hear this. It was a certain statue or pole that Israel would meet at. Again, they would be in the ceremonial service. Jehovah, as soon as they left. Some of them were bound. They were bound and bored in their marital bed. The Jews. It was a place of perversion. It was sexual perversion. It don't have to be sexual, but it was in this case. You need to get rid of your little strange gods. Verse 3, plural, and your Ashtaroth, singular. It was a meeting place where the perverts would meet. It's like we see today. Men with women, women with women, men with men. 3, 4 at a time, whatever number you like, whatever you like to do, anything goes. And Israel would show up. The people of God would show up in this sexual perversion. It was a meeting place where they'd say, meet me at Ashtaroth. Where are you going? We're going to Ashtaroth. We'll be right there. It was so binding that it became their pet dazzling sin. Everybody I've ever dealt with has, you don't have 100 things. When people say to me, big old guy come to me, Brother Rob, I'm a dog, man. He messed around with his wife and, he felt, I'm a dog, man. I got, you can't even help me. I got 100 things in my life. I said, 100? I know if there's enough time in the day, enough hours, time you work and around your people, you know, and you got 100. I got 100, man. I got 100. I said, sit down. I got time. Name them. He started off. He said, well, you know, I go to the club, man, boot scooting and partying, country boy. I got party, you know, Texas. I said, okay, go to the club, party. Okay, one. Drunkenness? Yeah. All right, keep going. Well, got a nasty mouth, man. My mama used to wash my mouth out with soap, man. She ain't around no more. I'm filthy. Okay, filthiness communication. 2, keep going. Well, Robbie was this woman at work. Met her in a hotel room. Committed adultery with your wife. 3, he slowed down. Booze, nasty mouth, partying, vulgar atmosphere, loving it. Women. He stopped. I said, I'm waiting. You got 97 to go. Look at me. You don't have 100 things in your life. I'm making y'all feel you don't have 90, 80, or 70. Watch this, guys. You don't have 30 or 20. You don't have 10. About 2 or 3 will occupy all of your time. The bondage of those. People don't have 10 things in their life they got to give up. They have 2 or 3. But here's my point. Little strange gods. There's one. There's one. It's a pet dazzling sin. And everybody, if you don't watch it, has an Ashtaroth. It's the one you love more than all of them put together. And usually it is sexual sin, but it don't have to be. It can be gambling. I had a guy look at me. He's a heterosexual man. He said, I will give up my booze. I'll give up my women. All the women. I'll give up women. I'll give up booze. But you don't understand. That's what you mean. He said, I ain't giving up my gambling. I'll go to hell with gambling. I ain't giving it up. He said, it started with Hot Springs, Arkansas, the horse track, Oakland horse track. I had money on that last horse. That horse neck to neck, coming around that last turn. I had $10,000. He finishes, I get $10,000. He said, look at me, preacher. The adrenaline flow of the horse coming around that last turn, neck to neck. The last flip of the hot poker game, that last card. When it's flipped down that table, we're all looking at that last card. Dice stopping, slowing the roll. He said, there is nothing that I've ever had that runs through my system. No sex, no drug, no booze, liquid, powder, syringe. Nothing is done for me. Watch it. Like gambling. And I looked at him, I said, that's your Ashtaroth. I see it in your eyes. My God, you're possessed with it. And it started with a $20 horse track, $20 bill. And ladies and gentlemen, that man was my half-brother. We have the same dad, not the same mother, and he died not long ago. And I buried him in Fort Smith, Arkansas, with 8 people. 8 people. Family wasn't even there. He's a loner, a gambler, a professional poker player. 8 people on a dreary day in Fort Smith, Arkansas. At a graveside was there. His 2 daughters did not show. His son came. Look at me. And the Lord said, took me back to our conversation, you want to see the life of a professional poker player, a gambler? Here it is. He was 80 years old, and there was 8 people at his funeral, at his graveside. I was one of them preaching, talking to him. I felt like I needed to show. You better hear me. The message never changes. And now you understand the New Testament scripture. Watch it. Verse 3, New Testament, when Paul said, let us lay aside every weight. That's the plurality. Plural. Here we go. And the sin. There's your Ashtaroth. That does so easily beset you. There's one booger in everybody's life, and I ain't gonna let you know this. There's one booger in everybody's life that's the toughest one of all to get rid of. You got to get rid of it. And I will close with this. Once you get rid of your little strange gods in your home, and you get rid of your Ashtaroth, break it. Sir, look at me. I love you. That's the reason I preach like this. God's leading me today. He even said, slow down. Sit on the chair and talk to him. We got a counseling session going on right now that is priceless. I'm not charging you anything. A wife buys her husband a laptop. It's $3,700. It's a good one. She's happy to hand you that laptop on your birthday or Christmas this past December. She pays $67 a month for God knows 75 years because she wanted you to have that laptop. She could afford it. But you get behind the scene and the door closed and you lock that door and you click that laptop and the things you watch. It's become your Astronaut. Your wife just bought you something that's destroying your marriage. It's so binding because you don't do anything about it. You love it. You're possessed. You think about it all day. You can't wait to get behind that door and lock it, click it. It's one of the most binding forces that there's ever been, and the ruining of marriages. Because, sir, you just don't view her the same anymore. She's making monthly payments on something that makes you look at her different and fantasize about another woman when you're with her. Let's just cut through the stuff, man. I only got 3 services here. I'm not in a political popularity game, okay? I'm a Pentecost preacher. And vice versa. Men are visual. Every marriage conference, women are emotional. But I was talking to Buster Lackey, goes to Tag Church in Little Rock, Arkansas. He's the Arkansas State Assembly of God counselor, where the preachers, family, and everybody send them to him to help them with everything. I'm sitting with him, and he makes a statement to me that I'm going to give to you that's valuable. He said, a big percentage of our women now are bound by pornography. Heterosexual women and lesbians, bound by pornography. It's not far behind men. It's still gaining. It's not 10%. It's way up percentage. He said, Robbie, when I deal with them that are bound by pornography, the women, it's so powerful it changes everything inside of her makeup. Feminine makeup. I said, what do you mean? Women that are bound on pornography in their life, at work and everywhere else, they're no longer emotional. They become visual like a man. It changes everything inside of them. That's when they seem so cold to their family and mean. Mom, what's wrong with you? I'll kill you. Look at me again. If you're a kid, tell them I'll kill you. Because she's no longer emotional. The pornography's done it to her. It defiles a man in a certain way. Everybody listen now. It changes a woman totally because her Ashtaroth has taken over and she has to have it like she does food to eat and air to breathe. You can't separate what happens in the church with our homes while we're running all over the country trying to correct the platform. Reason God told them, go home, Israel. Go home. And get rid of them. Yeah. Sir, I'm going to tell you something. Greatest thing you do on that laptop, if you can't go behind the door without watching something you shouldn't watch, I would take it right now. I would go to my home, I'd get it, and I'd put it on the right front tire, my 4-wheel drive, and I would put it in gear. And if your wife is making $6, $7 payments for 75 years, she goes, what are you doing? Look out the windows and say, honey, I'm doing one of the greatest things I could ever do for us. I'm going to run over my Ashtaroth and I'm going to crush it to pieces. I'll give you the money. I'm going to crush this thing. You can't go in a room, lock the door, and pray about it. You can't confess to the preacher about it. You got to go home and get rid of it. He said, get rid of your little strange gods. Get rid and crush it to pieces, your Ashtaroth. Prepare your hearts. Now we're under the Lord. Jealous God, here we go. Serve Him only. Yes. Watch me. Watch me. If I do all this, if I go home today, see, this altar call today is not necessarily first one going to be up here. It's going to be in your house today. I don't even want some of you to stop and go to the Mexican restaurant or eat somewhere. I really don't want you to eat first. You know what I want you to do? You talk yourself out of it. If you'll go home, get it out of the refrigerator and pour out that little strange God. Get it out of the cabinet, put it in a barrel out back, burn it. If you're not in city limits, burn it. Crush it with a hammer. Quit talking to it. Because you know the power of little strange gods and the Ashtaroth? It has no mouth. It has no ears. But every time you go to commit it or you get through with it, you talk to it. You tell it, I'm never going to do this with you again. I can't believe I'm doing this again. And it don't even have a mouth. You ready? And it out-debates you. Feel stupid yet? Y'all feel stupid yet? It out-debates you. You're talking something. It has no mouth, Israel. Has no ears. Has no hands that can touch you. But it's separating me and you. Because you won't do anything about it. You let it stay in your house. Get rid of it. Burn it. Pour it out. Crush it. Break it. Now, if your spouse is your Ashtaroth, you can't go home and kill him. I'm not saying that. You got to be plain. Paul, don't you kill Leslie when you go home today. It shows up in the news. Paul, you hear me? Leslie, we should say don't kill Paul. God knows you felt it many times. Not because it was an Ashtaroth. I don't mean to throw you on the bus, brother. I love you, brother. Okay, I'm not going to back up the bus. I'm going to put you on there and keep it neutral. Don't say anything else. I put it in gear. You mess with me. I'm telling y'all. Y'all with me? Okay, I'm done. Y'all getting anything? Yes. Well, I see it in your eyes. God asked me, young preacher, 22 years old, he said, I'm going to ask you a question. Now, God, why's God going to ask you a question if he knows everything? And he said to me, young evangelist, Robbie, I was in the altar praying, he interrupted me. I was talking to him, he interrupted. He interrupted so strong, it might as well have been audible. He said, I want to ask you a question. I said, yes. He said, if I let you keep one sin in your life with no reaping, no repercussion, what would it be? I said, huh? What a question from God. He said, if I let you keep and habitually commit one sin, 22 years old, what would it be? So, God, you know everything. Why are you asking me? He said, answer me. I said, I could commit one and the preachers find out they'd still have me, yes. My wife found out, she wouldn't know. She had no repercussion. And people loved me, nothing would happen. If you could keep one and commit it, habitually practice it, what would it be? Y'all are dying right now to know. Debbie is nosy. Debbie's sweet. She is a nosy woman. Debbie been sitting over her going, amen, like that, but now she's going. Rules coming white from out there. She leaned over like, what it is? And I just want to know what yours is. You know what mine is. What's yours? Debbie. Sweet Debbie. None of your business. Hey, you know what, Debbie? Everybody's got one. And it's not mine what yours is either. I didn't say committed. I said if you could get by with it. Okay, watch this. I have one. I do. And y'all are nosy too. You got your personality, your pastor. Hey, you want to know. But I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's not my life anymore. I don't even want to bring it up. I don't want you looking at me different. It's something that I hadn't done in 41 years. 44, 40 again. And I told him. I said, it would be this one. I said, but you know everything. Why'd you ask? He said, because I knew what it was. I wanted you to hear you say it. And I said, why? He said, because Robbie, the one you just said, as you start out your ministry, you never go in a room with that one. And you never give it any chance in your life.
That's right.
It is your Ashtaroth. Yeah. It is the one pet dazzling sin that you would give up all the others to have this one. It's the one that if you hang around it, it will destroy your ministry and bring such a reproach you will not be able to recover. And I said, wow, he set me up. But I see it. And 40 years later, I'm still preaching about it. Come on. That's a time I had with God that was different. Yes. I don't want it. I don't go around it. I don't want it anymore. Because I stayed away from it so long, the appetite died out. I repented. Yes. Yes, sir. If you'll go home today, all of you, don't talk all night, all day at the back, and don't run and eat and laugh in the restaurant. I want you to go home today. I think it's one thing maybe kept this church back from the way it needed to explode. You can't separate the two, church and home. The people of Israel, they never brought their little chisel, stone, and pieces of wood, carved wood. They never brought them to the ceremonial service. They left them home. They left here and went home and played with them. Nobody walked with them down the aisle. Y'all see this? I showed you my little proudness. You hit them. You got them hidden in your eyes. Go home. God said, get rid of them. And if I get rid of my little strange gods, get rid of Ashtaroth, and I serve him only, and I return unto him with all my heart. See how we miss over things? Read over. Oh, it's good. What will you do for me? Look at the end of that verse. And he will deliver you and your family from the Philistines. You know that Hamas deal that kept us from going to Israel? You know that Hamas deal just happened? It's nothing but a bunch of Palestinians. Ready? It's Philistines. It's Philistines. It's nothing but the Bible coming alive again. That's right. The beheading of 40 children, little babies with knives. The burning people like stacking up wood. The raping of the Israeli women until they died. Look at me. It's what Israel dealt with the Philistines in the Bible. Their most vicious, dreaded enemy. The one that wants to destroy them and wipe them off the earth. And God said, if you'll go home, Israel, my chosen people, and do these things, I will deliver you out of the hand of the Philistines. Some of your kids are being taken over by the Philistines right before your eyes. Some of your husbands are taken over. Look at me. I see it in your faces. They're captive by the Philistines, by Hamas in the spirit. Some of you women are. And it's at home that you're burned. Go home. Get rid of these things. Marble Hill, turn your heart toward him. Yes. You'll feel the freedom. The Philistines will be driven out. And your kids are going to go home and they're going to say, Mom, I'm free. And you'll say it shows up in your eyes, the light of the body. Oh God, it's not a preacher that thumps you on the head. It's not a bottle of oil we pour on you from the Holy Land. Might as well get water out of the toilet. There's no difference. Listen, it's the same thing. It's silly. I'm smarted out without reading the Bible. But this works. Go home. Get rid of. Come back to the ceremonial service and watch what the Lord does. Yes. Y'all with me? Yes. Okay. I'm not going to lay hands on people today, Pastor, this morning. Tonight, tomorrow, I'll lay hands on all of the church's size. But I don't want to stray from what's happening right here. There's something going on between me and you and God right now. So I'm going to have a keyboard. Would you come? Keyboard player. I just want you to play soft. I don't even have to have a keyboard. I know that, but just play soft. I don't want you singing anything. I don't want them thinking of a lyric. I don't want them memorization, thinking about a word. I want them to think about this word that I preach. want you to take your head because of distraction. I want you to close your eyes. I want you just to barely bend over your head. No cell phones, please. No cell phones. Don't look around. Your head's bowed. Your eyes closed. Nobody talking. And I'm going to ask you this right now. I'm not going to play with you emotionally. I've preached to you. Your emotions have been moved by the Word. You know where you're at. But I love you enough to tell you, you can't go to heaven because you're just sorry you got caught. And when you pray your prayer, forgive me, Lord, but I'm going to run right out here. I'm probably going to commit it within 2 days. You hadn't repented. You need to get right with God, man. You're not right. Don't die in a car wreck like that. Heart attack, you sure aren't going to the rapture. You got to change. How's your appetite lately? I want to count this morning to the number 3. When I hit that third number, I want you to throw your hand in the air and say, Robbie, Brother Robbie, it's me. It's me. I've asked forgiveness all my life, maybe 30,000 times, but I've never repented, Robbie, once. I just always ask forgiveness and go back and do it again. Trust in grace. And that's not what he meant. I want to repent today. I want a metanoia in my life when he comes alive in me. It's church folks today. Visitors maybe will come tonight, but it's us together. The greatest thing that can happen in this church, you just heard it. There's no conference you need to go to. I'm telling you, heard it. Conference came to you today. I'm ready to do it, Robbie. From the husband to the wife, some of your kids are waiting on you. Maybe kids, you ought to try this, and maybe it'll get on your parents. Somebody's got to take it in the home and do something about it. I'm ready to change. In 2024, the month of January, first month, Brother Robbie, I'm ready to change. This should be your New Year's resolution. Not weight loss or working out more. This is it, man. This is eternal. As I preach this, I'm going to count to the number 3. You sit here today and you say, Robbie, I feel like I'm not right with God. After this message, I don't feel right with the Lord. That's him showing you. That's not me picking on you. I preached, he shows.